to be invited to speak today, and Amerability is really excited also to be here with the great people of Nevada. So I'm Australian, as you might have guessed from my accent, and I always start my sessions with an Australian hello. Does everyone know how to say hello in Australian?
Good eye.
All right, now, I just want to help you guys do it the best way possible. So Americans like to say good day, but actually it's g'day. So we're all going to say it on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. G'day. All right, now we've got the formalities out of the way. I'd love to talk to you guys today about what Amerability is hoping to do here in the great state of Nevada. We work in the Pacific Northwest, and we've been in the Pacific Northwest for the last 2 years, working in programs in Oregon, Washington State, and Idaho. But we wanted to actually move to Nevada and Las Vegas, and so we started talking to the agency here for blindness and low vision, and spoke to Rochelle Pennock, who most of you might know. And Rochelle was fantastic and really wanted more vendors here in Nevada to be able to support you guys and run programs for people with blindness and low vision. And so I'll start by telling you a little bit about me. I am about to be 53 in September, and I was born with blindness in both eyes. I have scarring on both corneas of my eyes. So I've had scarring of my eyes for all my life. And then at 12 years old, I got cataracts on top of that. So I went nearly completely blind at age 28 and had cataract surgery, and luckily got the vision that I originally had back. So in my right eye, I have about 2200 vision, and in my left eye, I have about 2800 vision. And I have a half a field of vision in my left eye. So I can only see kind of from the middle out of the eye rather than in. So if I'm looking at this crowd right now, I can only see the table to my left. Out of my left eye. So I've been really fortunate in my life to be able to have a lot of great opportunities, to be able to really experience all the world can offer, and that opened up a world of possibilities to me. So I started playing goalball at the age of 15, which is a Paralympic sport. Do all of you know what goalball is?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So I played goalball for 30 years, which is now why I need a hip replacement very shortly. But it was a great sport. You know, when I was losing my vision and I had the cataracts and I lost a lot of sight quickly, I used to play rugby and basketball in high school. But when I had my cataracts, I couldn't really do that anymore. And so I was still looking to be active and social and meet new people. And so the great sport of goalball became available to me. And I loved it. The first time I played it, I just loved it. We did it at a camp. I used to attend vision camps as a teenager, and just a great experience to meet new people, lifelong friends from that, experience great outcomes and activities. And so goalball was the thing that I took to. I played goalball for Australia for 15 years, and then I coached our Australian men's team, and I coached our Australian youth boys and youth girls teams. And my Australian youth girls team won the World Cup in 2017 in Budapest, Hungary. And everyone used to say to me, oh, you know, if you coach and you play, what's better, winning? And I would always never understand why someone would say, well, when you coach people, it's much better than actually playing and winning. And I took this group of 5 teenage girls who had never left Australia and never played in an international tournament. And we went and we played Russia in the gold medal match, and Russia had won 3 consecutive Youth World Championships, Youth World Cups, and we were the first team to beat them. And as a coach, being able to mentor those girls and really teach them about life as well. They're all grown up now and married and kids and finished college and working. It's just such a great opportunity to be able to mentor. So I've had a lot of great experiences in life that have taught me that giving back is really a privilege. And when I moved back to the United States with my wife, who is American, and we moved back in 2023, there was a good opportunity for me to be able to start my own business. And a former person who I used to coach at Washington State School for the Blind is now the pre-ETS manager in Washington State. And Matthew Hines said to me, Murray, you really need to start your own business and vendor with us. And I just thought it was a great opportunity to be able to take a step back and really think about what I wanted to deliver to people with blindness and low vision. And so we've started to create the company Amerability, and we started to do workshops and camps in Washington State. And there's three things that I think kind of kids really enjoy these days. One is gaming, obviously, a lot of screen time, so a lot of gamers out there. So we decided we'd start a gaming program, and we worked with Microsoft, and Microsoft let us tour their Xbox inclusive gaming facility that they did in Washington State and Seattle, which was a really great thing for the kids. And then we decided we'd start a music program. And so I knew a performing artist in Spokane, Washington, and she knew a person who owns a financial management company who has Star Guards and is legally blind as well. And so she introduced me to him, and he has now started his own blind record label and has become a music producer. And so it's just a great network of people, you know, and I love being around people with blindness and low vision because it's a group, right? We're a family. And it doesn't matter where you go, which state you work in, being part of the family and now being part of NFB and having that family has been great for me. So again, I'd like to thank you all for letting me this opportunity to talk to you today. It's really important that we work with you, we listen to you, and we give you things that you want in Nevada. So today is really for me about being present here, talking to you guys, having the opportunity to know what you want to do, how you want to do it, how can I facilitate that for you, and how we can have the best outcomes possible. In this session, I really want to hear from you. I want to hear what you want to do, what you've done before that you'd like more of, and some of the things that maybe haven't worked that we can try and reinvent in different ways. My company does a lot of different things. I've talked a little bit about sport, obviously, which we do, and it's not just blind tennis or goalball. I'm actually trying now to be able to start blind and low vision NFL and blind and low vision 3-on-3 basketball. And so I've worked with a company called Onecourt. Has anybody heard of Onecourt here? Okay. So Onecourt is a company that's based in Seattle, Washington, and they wanted to make sport accessible for the blind. So what they did was they took a group of university students doing engineering, and they built a model where you can go to any stadium and you can put a device on your lap that's about the size of a laptop, maybe just a little bit thicker than a laptop. And what it does is it has a silicon top to it with the court that you're looking at. If you're in a basketball game, it's got the basketball court. If you're in a baseball game, the baseball field. An NFL stadium, the NFL field. And you can feel real time where the ball is on the field by vibration. What's happening? If you're in a baseball game, you can feel the strike zone on one side, and then the baseball field, if a player hits the ball into the field or hits a home run, you can feel it on the top of this device. And at the same time, you're getting a real-time play-by-play in your ear with score updates, commentary for the blind and for low vision. So we're working right now with Onecourt to be able to bring that to the Knights here for ice hockey and for the Raiders for the NFL. And soon, in a couple of years, my baseball team, the Oakland A's, which will be the Vegas A's. So lots of great opportunity for you guys to be able to go to stadiums and be part of the experience, not just sit there and have someone tell you what's happening, but really be part of the game. And we've tried this at the Portland Trailblazers basketball stadium and recently at the Seattle Mariners baseball stadium. And the feedback that we got from people was, for the first time in attending a live event, they actually felt like they knew what was happening and were part of the game. And so it's partnerships like that that Amerability wants to bring to Nevada, to Vegas, to Reno, to Pahrump, to all of the areas. And I worked a lot back in Sydney and in Australia in regional areas. And so I think, there's a lot of people that are isolated in regions that we want to be able to service and work with as well. So I'm excited about those opportunities, but I'm more excited to hear about what you want. And so if there's any questions or any comments about experiences that you've had that you want more of, we'd love to hear from you. And Chris is walking around with the microphone, so you just put your hand up. Chris will bring you the microphone.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Chalya. My question is about language adaptability of your technology. Would your technology, do you think, work in non-English sports in Europe? So maybe soccer, like?
Yes, it's a good question. So soccer is the fourth sport that already exists. So they have NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and soccer. So they're the four sports at the moment. We're also developing tennis, a tennis court, which we'll be trialling at the US Open this year in Flushing Meadow, New York. And we'll be working with the NFB chapters across the East Coast to come in and be spectators at the US Open and trial these pieces of equipment as well as play blind low vision tennis. So, and the other part to that is, yes, we will have adaptive language as well. So for non-English speaking participants, we will have Spanish will be the next one for sure.
Where are you?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question. Chris will bring you the microphone.
Hi, I'm Mona, not from Reno.
Hi, Mona, not from Reno.
I'm the original Mona. I know that the St. Louis Blues already have this technology.
Yes.
And will you ever be coming to minor leagues, like the Aviators, the Aces?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's certainly being trialled in a number of areas around the country right now in a number of leagues. The eventual use for this will be that you can sit at home and watch games and be able to feel really what's happening and hear specific commentary. And that's probably 2 years away, and they're continuing to trial that. But that's the eventual hope. And so now what they're really working on is the production. How can they speed the production up of these devices to be able to get them into the leagues, into the stadiums as the first thing, and then as the second thing, have them in homes for people to use. Next question.
I have a question. My name's Mona.
Hi, Mona the second.
Mona the best says, thank you. The tennis was awesome, by the way. You guys, if you didn't try it, you missed out, because even though I couldn't really, I hit it twice. But I think with some practice, I could put you guys up for, some challenges.
I'll tell you what, Mona, you did pretty well. I mean, it takes usually, a good 10 minutes to hit the ball the second time for most people, and you were doing it after like 3.
Hey, well, the thing I wanted to ask you about, though, even though the tech that you're talking about is really cool, one thing I'm looking into for our chapter in our area is accessible disc golf.
Yes.
You think it's possible?
Absolutely. So I haven't done a lot of disc golf, but when I was in Sydney, I used to work at Sydney Olympic Park, which is the venue where the Sydney 2000 Olympics and Paralympics happened. And there was a disc golf course in the park. And so what we did was work with a bunch of teachers in the school to make those disc golf, I guess you call them holes or baskets or whatever you call them, audible.
So you put like a beeper on top of them? That's what I was thinking, like a portable beeper.
Yeah, so there's a lot of adaptions that we're working on right now. I'm working with Wilson, who makes the NFL balls, to be able to put a beeper in an NFL ball. And that's how we'll start to do blind, low vision NFL flag football. And so we've done a lot of this in Australia. I don't know if you've heard of Aussie rules football or not.
Yeah.
But don't get me doing those chants, Mark. You won't stop me. But we have a blind version of Aussie rules football in Australia, and it has a beeper in the ball. and we have adaption, so we mark the ball like a catch in the NFL, and we mark the ball when it's kicked to somebody, and we have one bounce marks, so there's quite a few adaptions. And just going back to blind low vision tennis, I'll just talk to you a little bit about the adaptions of blind low vision tennis quickly. Shorter court, so if you're playing, we went to Darling's Tennis yesterday, and we'll be having a program that works out of Darling's Tennis courts here in Las Vegas a couple of weeks after this conference, which is exciting. And so we've already had a few people interested in signing up for that, and we hope to have one in Reno as well. In addition to a little bit shorter court, we have an audible ball, and the audible ball it's a big foam ball, not a big foam ball, but it's a bit bigger than a regular tennis ball, and it has a ping pong ball inside of it, and it has ball bearings in the ping pong ball. So it's an audible ball, and in mainstream tennis you get one bounce and then you hit it back over the net. In blind low vision tennis you have up to 3 bounces depending on your level of vision. And then you have, when you serve the ball, you ask your opponent, are they ready to receive the serve? And then the opponent says yes, and then you serve it as well. So there's an audible component with those features. Other than that, it's exactly the same as mainstream tennis. So we try not to make too many adaptions, but the adaptions really make sense. And I think we're next door. So again, during the lunch break, please come and have a hit. It's really simple. You can just stand there and hit the ball against the wall. So if you're feeling really angry from this speech, you can go next door and take it out on me by hitting the ball against the wall. I'm really lucky at the moment here this weekend to have my family from Australia with me. My sister is with me, and her husband, and their 2 kids. So they're assisting in the blind low vision tennis as well, and I have my wife of 24 years here with me today. So Temi knew nothing about goalball, and when she married me, I was playing for Australia at the time, and I said, hey, you should become a referee. And so Temi went and got her level certification and became an international goalball referee. So that's really nice. Any other questions? Yes, a few. Chris is taking the microphone over, won't be a minute. Yep, we'll come back to you.
Hi, this is Jim Farino. If we wanted to bring Goalball into our city or offer in our area, would we go through directly, or would you work with the Parks and Rec Department, the city? How would that work?
Yeah, it's a great question. So in our contract that we signed with the state agency, they are really committed to be able to bring sport, including goalball, into regions. And so I'll give you my information if you come and see me today. And you get your information, and for anybody who would like to play any adaptive sport, I can send out information to Mark to put in his newsletter, but I can also send you guys directly information as well.
Hello, my name is Audrey.
Hi, Audrey.
I have a question. I know that you mentioned briefly that music was something that you guys had your ears to the ground to.
Yeah.
Are there more arts, performing arts, or even artisan work that you guys are working on also?
Yeah, I really love these questions. We've got an intelligent audience here today, Mark. When we created our music program, we did that for 2 reasons. One, there's an enormous amount of talent in the blind low vision community. But secondly, it's a great way to be able to build self-confidence, to perform and to get your talents out there. And so we looked at 2 aspects of the music program that we launched. One is the performance side, and we've got a great music producer who we're working with at the moment, who really brings the best out in people and really loves to work in this space with blind and low vision artists. And then we talked about the record label as well, started by a blind person who is really committed to be able to do the marketing and release what we've done together with the music production. But then there's the employment side of it. And so what we're encouraging a lot of our youth students who are in our program in Washington State to do is to learn the different parts of the music industry, and then pursue their dreams in the music industry, become a sound engineer, become a music producer. And so that's really important for us, that we not only do the artist side of it, but we also offer employment as well. And that's what we'd love to bring to Nevada, is we'd love to be able to work with artists and producers and industry professionals, as we have in Washington State, to be able to bring those opportunities to people here in Nevada. And we're opening up and kicking down the doors of industries that the agency never thought were possible. And typically in the agency, they're focused on healthcare, education, and the restaurant industry and regular jobs, I guess, at base levels. And what we're saying is, you can have a career, and we can help you specialize in that career, and those things are very possible with the right mentoring and the right coaching and the right direction. And so that's what Amerability does in working with that music and the entertainment field. We also brought Elizabeth Rouse out, who sits on the arts board of NFB National. Yep. And Elizabeth is fantastic. She's a totally blind lady who's, I think, 26 years old, although you wouldn't know it. She talks like she's about 50. Yep. And has a lot of life experience and has done a lot of things. And Elizabeth has just actually did a workshop with us 2 weeks ago in Washington State. And so we really try to be able to bring people with blindness who have done it to be able to teach it. And that's a really important part of what our company is as well. Other questions?
Just had a quick question here. This is Brent.
Hey, Brent.
I just want to get a card from you, if you got a card.
Yes, I will absolutely give you a
down
card.
here, right next to Mark. So.
Yep,
Right.
no problem at all. Any other questions?
How do you
Yes.
spell the global?
How do I spell what?
How are you spelling global? Because we're looking it up and we can't spell it.
Oh, Goalball.
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 Gold.
Like a soccer goal.
Thank you.
Yeah,
One
goalball.
word.
One word, that is true.
Thank you.
It's fun.
Yeah, we got another question.
Murray, we've got one more question from Megan.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Megan with the Nevada Blind Children's Foundation.
Hi.
So we recently purchased a Goalball set about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
My question is, how do you get the kids involved in your community? Because we're having trouble getting them interested and excited for the game.
Yeah, it's a really good question. My wife in the back there, she ran the largest Goalball for Schools program in the world in Sydney. We had 219 schools play Goalball in a year, and then we had a knockout tournament that we did at the end of the year with 36 of the top teams. And one of the things that we found was that in working with TBIs, kids in school that don't want to really have their vision front and center for the rest of the kids to see. What we did was we made Goalball a mainstream sport. So we would come into the school and we would do a Goalball lesson with the class of the student who had blindness or low vision, and we just make it like any other sport. And the great thing that I really loved to see, and that would happen all the time, is we would get the sportiest kid, the quarterback of the NFL team, or the equivalent of what we had in Australia, captain of the rugby team, and they would always say, "This is really hard, I don't know how to do this." But the child that was blind or had low vision would usually excel. And so it was great to be able to flip the switch and have that student with blindness and low vision be really confident and understand that, hey, this is just a mainstream sport. And then we asked the school to be able to start a Goalball team, and we saw a massive decrease in bullying, as an example, because of Goalball for Schools. And so we would love to introduce a similar program here in Nevada and working with the school districts to be able to do that. So please come up to me after during the lunch break, and we can exchange information and see what we can do. But Goalball for Schools is really powerful, and it's a great way to get kids started in playing Goalball in a non-confrontational way about their vision.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions? Yeah, a couple more.
Sorry, we have Raquel.
Hi. I think a lot of people here can echo the sentiment that Nevada has a huge shortage in orientation and mobility instructors. If we're talking about movement and getting out. And so I'm curious to know, does Amerability have trained staff for orientation and mobility and like daily living skills and such?
Yes to daily living skills, in the process of obtaining staff for orientation mobility. A couple of our staff members are undertaking master's programs at the moment to be able to get their degree in orientation and mobility, and that's a really important part of what we want to do and deliver, but not at the moment. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, I'd like to again thank Mark and his team for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you all. And please come next door, even if you don't want to play tennis, come and have a chat with me and Temi and the family. And thanks again for letting me be part of your conference.
Come on, that's exciting stuff right there.